I know you've got to go and get a plane, so but I do want to ask you a few other issues. A big week of news and commitments for you. One of them, of course, the Premier of China, the visit. Now, Peter Dutton said you lack the backbone to strongly criticise the behaviour of those officials when Cheng Lei was blocked at that media event. In hindsight, could you have been more immediate in your criticism?
Kieran, you were there at that event, I would assume. Peter Dutton was there. He stood up at the lunch afterwards with Premier Lei and said absolutely nothing. He was a lion outside and a pussycat when in front of Premier Lei and other Chinese officials. Said nothing. The truth is that we responded very clearly. It was inappropriate activity. We made that clear, and I made it clear directly to Premier Lei, which is more than Peter Dutton did. He left it up to Simon Birmingham to speak up and didn't raise it himself. The truth is, as well, just to put some perspective here, the reason why Cheng Lei was at that press conference is because of the work that we did to ensure that she was brought home, strongly advocating, as we do, always in Australia's national interest. We've managed to stabilise the relationship without compromising any of our values. And Peter Dutton, for all of his macho nonsense he goes on with, he's incapable of standing up to his own party. He's got people in his caucus room who've been out there praising Vladimir Putin. He's got people out there putting all sorts of extreme positions, opposing any action on COVID. He's got anti-vaxxers sitting there giving speeches in the parliament that he's refused to say anything against. He can't even stand up to people in his own party, let alone stand up for Australia's national interests globally. That's something that I've done, and that's why Cheng Lei brought home, Sean Turnell brought home from Myanmar, people in Vietnam taken off death row. The actions that we've continued to put, and we always defend Australia's national interests.
The Putin and Kim Jong-un summit in Pyongyang, that's quite the spectacle, the two despots having their diplomatic dance. But I ask you a serious question. Should China be doing more to rein those despots in and to ensure world peace, like in Ukraine? They've got the influence there. Why not use it?
It's one of the issues that we put forward very strongly when I met with Premier Lei. We think that China should use its influence with Russia. Vladimir Putin's illegal and immoral invasion of Ukraine has had a devastating impact on the people of Ukraine who's standing up for their sovereignty, but it's also had a devastating impact on the global economy. It is one of the major sources of global inflation that saw inflation hit double digits in places like the UK and have a real impact. So we want all countries to put pressure on Russia, and we do directly as well by standing up with our allies, by providing support. Now has been over $1 billion we've supported for Ukraine. That's so important. It's a struggle for the rule of international law and for national sovereignty to be respected. And the people of Ukraine, and I had another discussion with President Zelensky just a couple of weeks ago and praised the courage of him and his people, as did Bill Shorten when he represented Australia at the important summit that was held in Europe just last week.